Welcome to my life. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to be working on this blanket. Um, I barely actually made it in today because yesterday was really bad because the weather. Not just the weather, like it was playing games on my body. Thanks so much for the likes. But yeah, so I did some stuff today to get my neck to calm down, and I'm back. I'm so good. I hope you guys didn't have such a bad day over the past couple of days. I know the storms raged in because of the weather was trying to get back cool and everything, and it was just really crazy day yesterday and Friday with the winds kicking up and everything. And just let me do my introduction. I am Doe of Doe's Cafe. It's a play on words, Cafe Cafe. And I typically go live loom knitting, but I have been doing some days where I have been doing crocheting. So there will be some days. Um, I think I'm gonna try to get a schedule. Maybe I loom knit uh, twice a month and then crochet twice a month. And I just announced these are crochet days, whenever I'm getting ready to go live. I just give you guys a theme. But right now, I'm making a blanket. I'm making Christmas gifts. Yeah, a whole. If you're a loom knitter or you're a knitter or a crocheter, you get it. So, especially if you make custom orders as well. So it gives you time to if you start like so long ago, it gives you time to get your gifts done while your other stuff is in demand. So, and I think the boys are gonna get like blankets this year. I think everybody else is gonna get hats and scarves. So I'm gonna see how many hats and scarves I can make by the time the season rolls back around here, and we will see. And they might get it before. Um, I don't know. Whenever it starts to get chilly, they might just all get gifts, and it'll just be a just because gift maybe. So I would like for it to be pushing like September, October, maybe even August, just as a gift. I was singing before I got on here, and the song is stuck in my head. I gotta get it out. We're gonna just do 10 rows of black. We're doing 10 rows of that black and 20 rows of red. If you're curious about this color of red, I haven't really found a lot of vibrant red colors. And it's this one is by Red Heart, and you know I know how well I pretty much feel the same way too about their yarn can be rough sometimes. So, but it's vibrant, and you can do some things to soften it up some. So maybe that'll help. If you guys are like, I need a vibrant red like that, you know, that's where I got it from. I also got some from Mainstays, but Mainstays is a little bit duller than this. And I've been doing some research to try and find blanket yarn that's as vibrant as this too. And so far, it's not Bernat blanket because I got some. It's looking. I saw some on what is that? Premier has some vibrant reds, but the shipping is like OMG. It's like I only get your red from here. You gotta spend so much to get it, but the yarn is affordable. But it's like you gotta buy in bulk every time you buy it. My nail is pulling some fibers over here. It's giving my nails, and it's not even that off. I probably might need to file it. It's gonna drive me nuts. I can feel it. Hmm. And as you guys notice, I knit off differently than most loomers. Most loomers lay their projects flat and they scoop it off. I pick it up and throw it off into the middle because that's what works for my wrist. I have overactive wrist and arthritis, so it works out better for me to like bring it like just a quick flick of the wrist instead of doing this because that's what I'll be essentially doing. So that's why I prefer doing it that way. There are rare occasions where I will do it that way, but it depends on the stitch. If I'm doing U stitch, I have no choice, so I'll do it that way. But yeah. Hi, Finetta. I'm doing good. How are you? So that's why I do it that way. So yeah, it works out better for my wrist. I can't use like the thicker hooks. I've gotten suggestions to get the thicker hook. I got that. That's too much. Why is my kid calling me? Let me call his dad and ask him why he's calling me. The children will do it. They know they're not supposed to call me, and I just told him I was going live, so I'm gonna call his dad on Messenger. But yeah, also I wanted to point out that KB are the only hooks that I use for loom knitting. They work out so much better. Sometimes I know people get frustrated about loom knitting. Sometimes it's the hooks too. So they're more pointy than pretty much 90% of all the hooks I've experienced. They're more pointy, and the other ones I tend to wrap I've tried are duller. So I would suggest um, KB hook. You don't have to just do KB looms if you don't want to, because I have a preference to KB looms as well, and loops and threads looms. These most KB looms are smaller gauge than loops and threads, so I like them for smaller gauge projects. And loops and threads, I like them for bigger gauge projects. I'm that's good. You're doing good. I'm sorry if I didn't acknowledge that. That the kid calling just threw me off, and I tried not to bump that too many times. I know it's louder on live. Let me see. Let me get into this phone. And then I'm calling my husband and saying, "Why is your kid calling me?" That song is stuck in my head. Come on, messenger. I'm making a blanket. I'm trying to get started early on Christmas gifts, and I'm making some blankets because I do customs and I do events and stuff, and so this is about the only time I'll be able to find time to um to make it. And call him real quick. See why this kid is calling me. Hello. Your why is Ian calling me? Okay, thanks. Later. Bye. Like a whole conversation on live. Well, it's not a whole conversation really, but yeah. Thank you. Are you working on anything? Let me see. I think he messaged me. See what he's talking about. Oh no, just the phone vibrating. And the phone is like on 15%. I think I'm gonna borrow the other charger. Be honest. No, I think they'll get it sorted out in the next 20 minutes. Uh-oh. Oh, awesome. You ready? It sound like you ready for spring. I've been thinking about spring colors too. I went and bought some like um. It looks like a. The phone starting to get on my nerves. Took it off the table. Oh, where is that? Cool. You'll be finished with it in no time. Thank you, Amber. I hope I stay committed and getting it done because I'm not. Um, couple of years back when I would go live, I would do it all, like do the whole blanket during live. But now I'm crocheting and loom knitting, so I'm like I have to find time to make like my festival stuff. So I'm like I gotta put it down. But I got about 6 months to well 6 to 9 months to try and get this thing done though. I got two of them to do. I'm gonna do two black and red ones. They probably might not be the same design, but both of my boys like red and black, and I mean red, and their dad likes red and black. So this kind of how this happened. And then I said I was gonna try and make cardigans this year on this loom because I have an idea. I got so many other looms that assist in the process, so I don't have to do a whole lot of mattress stitching to get it done. But yeah, I got these looms and like so many round looms and long looms that it's not gonna be hard to get that done real quick. And I got a couple of knitting machines, so those manual knitting machines that you have to crank. I think that was three, this is four. Trying to keep up with the rows because I'm only doing 10 in black. My favorite thing to make on a loom is actually is a sweater, so it's pretty awesome. It's just so easy. It's like, once you take it off the loom, you pretty much done with everything. And you don't have to keep it from curling or anything because if you're doing the double knit loom. And then I got three of these alone, so there's that too. gonna move this over here. He's kind of like in the way. Let's see. I can't even squeeze it over there. Yeah, it works. Oh, flip to the other side. I'm making a blanket. If I would have known before, that's all I would have had. That's the brand I would have preferred to use too, Finetta. But I started I started off in Walmart, and once I figured out that train, I was just like, no, you know, I want to get off this crazy train. Cause I almost quit loom knitting because I was buying the looms in Walmart, and I kept breaking them, and I was just like, no. Let's see, it's for. I might need to move my heater a little bit closer to me because I don't want my neck to act up while I'm in here. One more row, and then I need a stitch marker. to do to make sure I stop at 10. Then I change the color. Sometimes I get in the zone and I be really moving. And I'm cheating. Not in looming per se, but I am cutting corners on this blanket. So typically I do the whole border and everything before I take it off. This time I'm doing all E-stitch only. No garter stitching, no pearl stitching, no nothing. And I'm just going to get it up to 6 feet. And then I'm gonna get it up to 6 feet, and then I'm gonna crochet the border, so it'll stop curling at the beginning. So this is my first blanket in a minute I'm done where I did one that curled off the loom. But most of them I try to go ahead and do the border so I can be done with it by the time it comes off. But since I take a break and crochet, that's kind of like me tricking my brain to be like, oh, it's just me crocheting after I finish the blanket. Because usually when I get it off the loom, I just shut down. I'm like, I'm done. It's done. I've accomplished it. Whether it's done or not, whether I have to hide strings or not. So I have to hide all my strings and stuff um, before I get done too. The ADHD be getting me. Every time, like clockwork, when I get it off, it be like, I'm done. But you gotta hide the screens. No, I'm done. I need to figure out how to do it in like I'm making a blanket. I need to figure out how to do it in a way where I do what's that, the tassel things on the border part. See how fun that would be. Yeah, yeah. No problem, Yvette. I don't mind. You don't have to apologize. Um, I'm doing it all E-stitch, and then when I take it off, I'm gonna crochet the border. It's this long now because it rolls up, so it's about almost, I would say about 8 or 9 inches. I can show you one that I do where I do everything, but I'm just trying to like get it done and it be a gift. So I'm kind of, and then I have such, everything in the background is so demanding. So since it's just a gift, I'm not trying to go all out the way. So this is what I typically do when I make blankets is I do a garter stitch border all around, and this is all done on the loom all at one time. And so I typically do this, but since this is just a gift and I'm trying to get it done fast, but it'll still be good quality, I'm just doing all E-stitch and doing and crocheting the border because it'll lay flat. Hey, Hess on a mission. How are you? So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going up to 6 feet because my kids are taller than I am, and I'm 5'4". So it's for the kids, and I'm trying to get them a little wiggle room to grow. Amazon. Got it from Amazon. I got the link in my bio. I also tagged it in this live too. But yeah, Amazon, Amazon or knittingboard.com. No problem. And people typically call it KB Afghan loom. Some people call it infinity loom, but I'm just trying to make sure you get the the right one. So it's called KB Afghan loom. The company is knittingboard.com. And I do. I also make plushies with my loom, so they can be done, and you can use tighter stitches. So you can do plushies on here. I've done a bumblebee, and I think a little squid, and some minions. I did several minions. Um, I think it's easier to do the border after you get done. Like if you're crocheting a border, I I feel it's quicker to do it that way. But it's not a hard technique to learn if you want to do it on the loom. That way, once you get done, you done. But if you're changing colors, then you'll have to like hide the strings. But if you're not changing colors, you're once you're done, you're done. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're crocheting a border, most people crochet if they're pretty comfortable with doing that. They've been crocheting for a while, so they're gonna speed through a border. But if you're not like that versed in crocheting or loom knitting, I would say do it on the loom. You can do a blanket with the circle one too. There's a 10 stitch method here on YouTube. I've never tried it, but I've seen other people do it, and they say it works up pretty fast. You won't have to sew anything after unless you're changing colors. But yeah, or you can make tubes and sew them together and make a blanket. But you can do the 10 stitch method and make a blanket that way. I want to do one of those this year too. I say I usually only do like one adult size blanket a year, but I think this year I'm gonna do three because these two are for the boys. So, well, I'm gonna make two for the boys, and that third one to count my as my personal once a year. And then I make about 7 baby blankets throughout the year because they're so small and quicker to make. So, and I use like the Walmart baby blanket area for the sizes of what I choose to make for baby blankets. So, and with the 10 stitch method, you can also go up to like a really big size so you don't have to be limited to a certain size. This I have to be limited to a size because only, I just did just the flat way around. I just did a regular knit. Let me make sure that I put the stitch marker right here. What did I do with that stitch marker? I'm in row counter. Not yet. It's pulling yarn. Alright, so this should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I like to put my stitch marker on this side. And I like to put it towards the middle, closer, like in, so that I know where to count the stitches at. I can count the stitches better towards the middle than the edge. So I got 5 more rows in black, and then I'm switching to red. Let me pull this down. Pull her down. I also made this Lazy Susan for my looms, so it makes it easier, especially when it starts to getting into 3 and 4 feet. I have to flip the loom list when I use it. So even if you're not looming, if you're knitting with the needles or crocheting, it helps with flipping and rotating. Oh, thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. It helps out a lot. Oh, thank you. Do you go live? What do you make? Let us know so we can find you. I'm gonna make a note to find you and find your YouTube. I appreciate the follow and the like and the engagement. Awesome, awesome. That'll be fun. I like watching animal videos, so that'll be fun for me. It doesn't matter the animal for me. I like watching pet videos, animal, horses, everything, goats. I want to make a screaming goat. I bought this You had to crochet the panels together, or are you talking about making a blanket? I bought this. I want to make one of those screaming goat plushies. So yeah, I'm very excited to do that. I hope I find time to do it. Now you can just use the 10 stitch and you don't even have to uh do a crochet or anything to get a blanket done on the round loom. Let me get the drink. Oh, no problem, Veronica. Yes, it was quite a bit of times doing the earlier part when I started loom knitting about 10 years ago, and so doing the earlier parts, it was just like for a second there, I'm like, no, I ain't finna, we not finna do all this. That when the pegs and stuff kept breaking, I was like, I was so annoyed. I was about to be done. I'm like, this is just too much work. But now I'm settled in. I'm pretty good. Just finding different techniques and stuff to make it worthwhile. Cause I couldn't knit this. This is 198 pegs. I could not. Um, the ADHD, my ADHD would not focus long enough to knit this nor crochet it, and I had to keep recounting the chain in order for it to even crochet it. So that's why I struggle with making bigger projects on the hook and on the needles. Thanks so much for the lights. With on here, I feel like I can set it and forget it. I figured out how to fix rows and you know, excuse me, I'm sorry. How to go back and fix rows and how to fix skip stitches, how to fix drop stitches without having to frog the whole project and all that stuff. So with the needles, when I would make up, I mean when I would mess up, I would have to like frog my whole project because I couldn't figure out how to fix it. But on here, I feel like I can just stop whenever I feel like it and don't have to remember what I'm doing unless I'm doing something complex. Now and I crochet small stuff. Like I can crochet small things. I don't for blankets and stuff like that, I don't have it. I don't have the patience. This is my patience for blankets. This is the only way I can make blankets without being totally irritated and frustrated. But yeah, I can, like, right now, if I decided to, like, I'm sick of working on this blanket, I lost interest, I'll just start, working on something else. But then when I get back here, I'm like, I remember, I recognize the stitches now, so I'm able to tell if I purled or if it's just a stockinette stitch or and all that stuff. Like now, I got a project that's been sitting on the needles for like 6 months because I can't remember what if I purled last or if I did the stockinette stitch last, and I'm just like, I got a feeling I'm gonna just have to frog all of that and start over. So I'm not ready to do that yet. But with crocheting, it's not like it's the chain. It's just starting it for me. It's not even like after the. It's keeping up with the amount of stitches. That's it. It's like having to count 150 some stitches or whatever to get like the width of your blanket. I can't stand counting. I think this one will take me about 60 hours because I'm not doing anything extra on this one. I typically go through a whole process. If this is a gift, I'm not going through any processes or anything special. I'm just doing all E-stitch and then I'm crochet the border. So I think it's just gonna take me about 60 hours to do. And I could if I do all the special stuff that I do, that's like an extra 20, 30 odd hours added to the blanket. So that's why I was like, this is a gift. Let me cut a couple corners because I'm not trying to do all the special stuff right now. I'm just trying to get it done and still have some quality to it, of course. So. And I also have ADHD, so I get disinterested very quickly. Um, my borders, which would probably take a typical, I don't know. My borders typically take me 2 hours if I'm doing like the technique, and I've fallen asleep during while making a border. I was just that bored with making a border, so my ADHD plays into a lot of the time that it takes me to get stuff done because I get very distracted. So, but sometimes it's worth it. Oh, sound like a snack. When I first did one of these, it was oh my gosh, it was just oh, it felt like it was taking forever, and I was doing all E stitch then. But it's very tedious. That's about it. It's very easy. It's just tedious. You got to get past the tedious part. What got me into doing it on live is that I was able to have conversations while I work. Whenever I crochet on live, I always lose count. every time, and I'm working on small projects, I always lose count. Here with this, I'm not really thinking about it. This is something I'm doing like practically second nature. So it helped me out in my lives. When I started going live a lot, this is what I use. My therapy, my coping mechanism brought me a very long way. So that's why I'm so dedicated to it. I don't have to be on camera, nothing. And then when the music's swinging, it makes it even better. I work even. I'm more productive if I got music because I kind of really zone in. I hyperfixate. Uh-oh, about to knock something over. Let me move that because I don't even want that anymore. I need to throw it out. No, I'm not using a pattern. I most of the time I use a pattern, but I'm just doing all E-stitch because this one I'm cutting corners and I'm gonna crochet the border. So I'm just right now I'm just just working it. I'm trying to find that other one I just said. This is what I typically do. I do this one. Yep, that's it. You use the gadget to move the stitches on. Yep, that's it. It's a lot like if you've ever tried finger knitting. It is a lot like that, except you dropping like the stitches in the middle of the thing. That's it. You wrapping them and dropping them in there, and they gathering. That's it. It's when you start to do other patterns and stuff. It's when it starts to get a little tricky. Let me knit this off and then I'll show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. I know I keep talking about the different patterns and all that stuff. You can do them all on here. It's just you got to get used to the tedious process of doing it. And I started on the needles before I started loom knitting, so I just, it just came easier to me. So I just kind of just stuck with the looms after that. But I still want to go back to knitting for the simple um, fact of having like that under my belt, just to be able to say I can do it comfortably if I want to. I can just pick up the needles and do it. Awesome, Sydney. So this is the most complex one. It's something else I've done too that's a little bit more complex than this, but this is one of the two most complex patterns I've done since starting. This has been on this loom for forever because it takes very long to do. This has been on this loom probably almost 2 years now because I'm trying to remember what did I do last? Did I purl or did I true knit stitch? But if I just go back and really dig through the stitches that's already on the loom, I can tell. But still, this this is a lot. I want to get done with it this year just to get it off the loom. But yeah, I got to be very careful with this loom because I broke a peg on this one. Let me see. It's somewhere around here. Let me not mess with it, cause as soon as I touch it, it breaks. But yeah, that's that one. Fingers crossed if I finish it this year. It's not at the top of my list, but it should be. Maybe it'll be that one Afghan. I'm like, this is my one. This will be my one Afghan this year. Maybe that'll be the one I need to get done. Let me see. That's how many rows did I just do? One, two. Then knowing me, I'll be like, I think I'm done with that, and I'm gonna change the pattern into something else, and then do like put the blanket thing back in there. I don't know. I gotta figure out another way to tackle it so that it's not so annoying. Yes, I have done those. I just started doing those last year, but it's not. I don't do it loom knitted. I want to start doing loom knitting designs in it this year, but I've been doing crochet. I've been crocheting the designs and then just patching it onto my knitted blankets. Like I've been doing names and all that stuff. But I enjoy crochet cross stitching, so it comes easier for me. So I just prefer to do that and then sew it on the blanket. But I said this year, because I had a friend, she loom knitted and she would put like animals like deers and everything all in her design, tractors and all that stuff. So I always wanted to do it because I saw her do it. Thank you, Trinia. Now this is a form of knitting. Look, you'll be a master at it before you know it, Ashley. I've been crocheting for 2.5 years, and I've gotten to that point now where I can freehand a lot of my plushies, and I can I'm following patterns pretty well. I just finished my first hoodie. Um, yeah, so you and tons of bucket hats that was made last year. But yeah, granny squares the best. You can make anything out of granny squares. I love those. At first, I was like, ah, but then when you figure out all the stuff you can make with it, it's like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, I have videos on here of me changing colors, and I also have videos of me doing like the full complete blanket and live replays and all that stuff. And I'm getting ready to change colors. I'll be changing colors before I get off live too. But all you really have to do is wherever you want to change your color at, because you can change colors at any point on your loom. But wherever you want to change colors at, you just create another slip knot and just start back wrapping, and it'll just all connect again. Right. If look, if it ain't broke, don't not keep doing it. Keep going at it, cause the better you get, Ashley. Um, I don't give the patterns are all like everything that I do, I pretty much give it out for free. Everything is on my YouTube. Like anything that I can answer on here, like tips, everything, I give it all out on YouTube. So yeah, it's definitely it's there. I hide nothing. I gatekeep nothing. I swear, it's that's like on constant rotation for me. I be so mad during the day. I be sitting there 2 hours. I'm like, look, dude, just pick up something. Stop thinking about what all the stuff you gotta do, all the stuff you about to do, and just pick it up. Pick it up and do it. I'm just like to start something, and my mind just says saying, just start, it's like I got all the stuff I need to get done. I got a list. I got a list. I got a list, and I got a list. But yeah, and I keep saying I want to crochet. I mean, I want to loom knit some plushies. I have not loom knitted any plushies yet. I'm trying to do some functional things. I have an event April 5th, by the way, so that's why I'm like on one. Thank you, Marissa. But yeah, Trini, I'm on one. I'm like, then my sister's birthday is April 8th, and she wants a stash jar. And so with the stash jar, you gotta crochet um the bear around it, and then get it to close or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I forgot her birthday is coming soon, and she asked for that. So I need to be trying to get that done. And then I got a bright idea to make mini stash jars after she asked for that. And I was just like, that'd be cool to have little mini stash candy jars at my event. And now I'm like, oh, I gotta get that done too. And the idea is just steady flowing. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm what most of the stuff, whatever I do, I try to post it as content. 'Cause whenever it's craft related, I try to put everything on here. Hi, Food Time. How are you? Thank you. But yeah, I'm actually in several different places, so even if like you wouldn't be able to find something here, I'm just everywhere. Thank you. What you working on this evening? I'm getting started on Christmas gifts. This is a Christmas gift. You'll get there. This is 10 years of not thinking, or zoning in. This is 10 years of zoning in. But nah, take that back. This is 4 years of zoning in, because I've been working on this loom since um since 2020. I've been looming longer than that, but this loom since 2020 is its own special class. About three, Marissa. Three. because I also have I technically have four of them. I have three of these, and I have one of the wide green ones, like the ones that's almost twice this size, but they still both are going to be like 5 feet wide. At the end of the day, they both still pan out to be 5 feet wide. But I have four of these, and so at any given moment, yeah, I can have about three going. Also, the reason why I try to go fast is because of the ADHD. I have to trick my brain into thinking that this process is fast. So the way I loom it, I have to like, you know, I have to do it so where my brain is like, oh, girl, you going fast. So, but yeah, so I'll just be like, yeah, I gotta trick it. So this what I be doing. So I try to rap fast at times, and I try to knit all fast at times. It's just all in my brain thinking that yeah, we speed it, but we not really speed. I know this is a tedious process, but I love it. So I have to keep my head in the game. Thank you, Marissa. I supposed to been posted a video a while back. One, two, three, four. Is this? Hold on, wait. No, that's only three. I think that's three. I supposed to been posted a video a while back about looms, so I need to get that one out there too. I also leave two pegs open because I get happy hands, and like I said, the ADHD will get happy and it will close. It'll make it into a tube. So I just rather leave two open than accidentally close it up, and then I'm trying to figure out how to open it back up again. So I just avoid that altogether. Let's just take these two pegs, leave them over, and wrap them just for tension, then take them off. And I don't, and the ones in the store, I don't even feel like you need them. I feel like I get everything in my because that's just a pen. It's just a old clicking office pen. That's all I got. And I like using the pen because I'm going. Let me see. Here it is. Let me just a second over here. Pull. All right, this is the one I got from the stores. Oh, that's gonna be a nice Anetta. This is the pen I got from the store. It comes with like a hook thing to pull the yarn through and everything. So I've made several suggestions, and people are gonna argue with me that you can do 5-way yarn in there too. Blah blah blah. But I feel like the tip of this is not that wide. So when I do, you see how it is with 4-way yarn, with that much space for 4-way yarn, and that's early I had tension on it. Now I don't. And then when you do 5-way yarn, that's gonna pretty much fill that up and add more tension to your yarn. So I prefer to use the pen because you the tip of this is made for 4-way yarn. But if I unscrew it and I decide to use number 6 yarn or number 5 yarn, this is wide enough for that. And I don't mind my number 6 yarn kind of like squeezing through there, because the wider gauge looms, I wish the stitches would be a little bit tighter anyway. So I don't mind that, but with 5-way yarn, it's not gonna tug and pull on that either, and it's it works out fine for me. So with this, I got different grades of yarn I can feed through my pen if I just take it apart or whatever. But with a straw, there's a certain weight that I can use or whatever. They are. I hardly ever use this one. I really don't really like this one. One day I was doing a tutorial with this one on live, so that's the only reason why it's actually on a loom. But I never use this part. I hate it. It makes me really mad. It makes my stitches tighter on my loom. I lost the little hook thing as usual. I lost that. I haven't seen it in about 3 years when I first bought it. So, it was like it really didn't do me any good. I could have just used the office pen, and I got like 6 of these. I lose them and I find them. So, and they didn't come to me at no price. But yeah. And of course we got pens and stuff all around the house and everything. It's just like, why go through all that? And some looms will send a straw, but 9 times out of 10, you will not get a wrapping tool in your kit. So just use a pen. I swear it does. It really does. I haven't bought one since I bought that one. I said never again. I don't feel like it was worth it. I have other ones that someone gifted to me, but I don't really use those either. Let me see, what did I do with those? I got these, but they really only work well. So they don't slide well in between. That's another thing about using my pen too. This kind of has a rough texture, and with my pen, I have a sensory issue, and it helps out a lot too. This is not rough. You don't even hear it. So yeah. And with this part, I'm gonna point out that too, because when I take this off, my yarn kind of rubs up against this when you do like blanket yarn or whatever. I file this down before I thread the yarn through. That way it's not grabbing up against it. Cause you see it got that groove. But if you file it down some, that won't be an issue either. It'll still screw back on. Just as long as you unscrew like all the ridges away. But yeah, this is my favorite thing. Like I will most of the time I will not loom it without a pen. And the only time that I will loom it without a pen is when I'm doing different stitches, because the pen doesn't really help with different stitches. It only works with each stitch. So I need to put that out there too. It will not work for all stitches. It will really only work for each stitch. but they typically do not come in your loom knitting kit. But it helps save a lot of time. And I would say I more so than not, most people like the wrapping tool. I've had very few people that say that they still rather use their hand. But I can't use my hands because I have overactive wrists and arthritis, so I have to use the pen. These are Neo G from I got them from Walgreens, but you can get them from Amazon too. And I like using them because of the sensory issue. And because of the sensory issue, I don't like fabric in between rubbing up against in between my fingers. So I like using these. They don't have Velcro because in to keep me from snagging my yarn. So that's another thing. And like I've had issues with the this pinky acting up, like possibly carpal tunnel issues, and once I start using it, it helps out a lot. Like I barely have that issue because if you use it more consistently. Are you talking about in my videos using one? That probably has something to do with filters. Yes, I do. Duck hunt. Oh no, I don't have a business notebook, but I need to do better because right now I need to be making some schedules and stuff because I'm constantly in meetings in two different places once a week at least, and I need to write down what I need to be doing now because right now I just got a custom for a hoodie and a baby blanket, so that's gonna be interesting. And the colors are similar. They're from two different people, but the colors are similar, so I'm just gonna post them together. That sounds interesting. If you're saying you got a crochet book, because I do crochet and I need that, a business crochet book. Oh, my bad. You said it's the ADHD is working. Um, yes, I have a business doing this. Sometimes sometimes I can ring myself in, sometimes I can't, y'all. I have ADHD. Sometimes I can ring it in and I'll be like, wait, hold on, lower it down, pump the brakes. Let me see. That's one more row and then I'm change colors. So I'll be changing colors in about 15 minutes tops, providing I don't have any hiccups. Because that's normally what happens. You're like, oh, I'm ending, and then it goes to acting silly, or I go to doing silly stuff. Awesome mango. I got the loom from Amazon. I also have a link here, and I also have it tagged in this live, so you should be able to purchase it through YouTube as well. But I think it'll come through Walmart. But you can purchase it on Amazon, and also I have the link in my bio. And the loom is called KB Afghan Loom, and the parent company is Knitting Board. So if you want to go and search it up on Amazon, it is KB Afghan Loom, and you can also get it on their website, which is knittingboard.com. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We all have to start somewhere. I'm planning on I didn't really make any much loom knitted hats last year. I need to amp that up this year. I forgot to cut my phone back on vibrate. No problem, radioactive. I try to make sure that I tell y'all that it's knitting board because there's so many different brands out there. And some people accidentally buy like the green one. And I use the green one, but this one is like a smaller gauge. So there are two different gauge looms that are going to pull up. So if you search Infinity Loom, it's going to pull up that the wide gauge loom and this loom. But some people can't tell the difference. And then if you search up KB Afghan Loom, it's going to pull this one up first. But I know I'm particular about, my stitches, so that's why I'm trying to like, make sure. This is my last row. Double check. Last row, I said. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Last row. I'm gonna cut this. Awesome. I'm gonna cut this so that I can remember that this is my last row. Once I finish wrapping, it'll make it less out of the way too. What you doing? What you got going on here? Oh, let's see. And if you don't do like you got to get so used to this because when you first start wrapping on this loom, it does jump off the pegs. So what I do, because I get that question a lot too. What I do to keep mine from jumping off, you see how I just like quickly stopped talking and then I just like stuck it down like that, just sitting on top of the inside, stuff like that to keep it from jumping off. Or let's say you kind of distracted for a little, just stop real quick and just set it down to keep it from jumping off. Um, I hold it in this hand. This hand kind of tells me how tight it is. So I'll hold it in this hand while I wrap to just in case it decides to jump off. That way it jumps off. I can be like this, or and then I can start pulling from here. I'm gonna hold this back here because I think, and then so as y'all see, it's not jumping off anymore. What I'm gonna do is take this pin and I'm gonna trace back to where it came off at. I'm in the last place it stopped at. So I'm basically just writing my way back to where it last stopped at, and I'm gonna start back wrapping. But if you hold it in this hand and you're working with this hand, you you'll get you'll get it. The hand-eye coordination will come as you work because you'll be sick of jumping off. You can also decide to like put place markers right there. I've used those. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Let me show you another technique. So this, I'm gonna lay this right here. Actually, I'll lay it the opposite direction. All right. I'm gonna lay that right there, and I'm gonna get a really long tapestry needle. This will also keep your work from jumping off the loom. So if you decide, okay, I need to run and do something real quick, I want to stop it right here. Go take this, go across here, and go down and behind your other stitches on the. Let me move this pen kind of in the way. I'm gonna flip it the other way. I'm gonna lay it that way. It'll be all right. So I'm gonna go down on top of here on this wrap that I got going on. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna catch the other stitch right here. So that's my tension right here. So if I decide I come in, I accidentally knock it loose, it stops right there. And I'm gonna put two right there. So I'm not just gonna do one. I'm put two very close to it. And I'm gonna show you that once I start shaking the pen or whatever, it's not gonna come off because I've done this multiple times. You just gotta have a little tension there. That's all. So this is making it press down. So if I move this, shake this, whatever, see that? Shaking. It's not gonna move. So if you decide like, okay, let's say I don't want to like try and catch my stitches every time it jump off. Find you different times at different points and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna put two right here until I get used to wrapping around this loom. I'm just gonna put two tapestry needles right here to kind of keep it from jumping off because it's that's a normal occurrence when you're wrapping on the loom. It's gonna jump off at some point, and it has jumped off on me tonight. And see, no problem, no issue, came right out. I'm gonna set that over there to the side, and I'm just gonna start back wrapping again. And if you choose to, you can just leave yours in that area, but that'll help with your page jumping off. Thank you, Trinity. I appreciate that. I hope to see you next time. I'm normally here on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Central to 11 p.m. Central. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Okay, so I'm cutting this, and I'm gonna hold this right here because I don't want to. Well, just go knit off, girl. Girl, knit off first. Now pull it. Now cut it. You get too distracted. All right. I don't know what I lost my scissors. I lost my 10th pair of scissors. Don't know what I did with them. Everybody's different. It's perfectly fine for me. I love it. I feel like there's a lot of things in life there's too much work, but I do it. Social media, too much work, but I do it. Making a hoodie, that was too much work, but I did it. And that was crochet. So, making a ruffle skirt, I would never do. That was crochet. Never do it again. Some things just are too much for other people, and that is perfectly fine. Yeah, I haven't done them in a while though. Like I sat down and did it because I started on the knitting needles, but I just haven't done it in a while. I sat down and tried last year. I did like 2 or 3 rows, and I was like, But I said this year I'm gonna sit myself down, and we're not gonna give up, and we're gonna make a project. Cause I made hats and scarves on the needles. It's just for me, it's too much. But I like to say that I can comfortably do it, almost second nature ish. So I'm trying to get back in that mode. Me too. They're more fun for me too, especially when I figure out like others, so many. Cause like essentially, you can I can make plushies with them, so I'm really excited about that. When I figured out how to start making plushies, you ain't saying nothing but a word. All right, so we moving back to red. I don't even know if I should use this red or using the whole nother skein of red because I don't want to. If I start this skein of red, I'm gonna have to add yarn to it. So we're just gonna open it. We're gonna do a whole new. Yeah, just all E-wrap, and then when I take it off, I'm gonna do crochet border. That's it. I like the way that yarn sound coming out of there. I was starting to pull it too happily. Okay, what you? I was about to say what you did with your pen, but I got bag up there too. Yeah, like sometimes you just gotta just take a break. This blanket is me taking a break from what I normally do. I'm so thankful for this break. How you shake the pen? I meant the needle back out. And then that makes it easier to thread the yarn through too. Having you a nice little tapestry needle, a heavy tapestry needle. This yarn feels a little bit different than that other one. I don't know. Maybe it's just me right now. So for right now, I don't have to keep count of any stitches because I know before I get off, by the time I get off live, I will not have completed this red row. So I'm just not gonna count it. I'm not gonna take myself through that. This just slows me down. So I'm not counting any more stitches tonight. It's some with me and counting numbers. I like to do them in fives, and then I have to make sure I remember. So I go to start saying 10. I'm like, wait. these fibers floating around. And I like that it's gotten bigger, so that way I don't have to adjust it a whole lot anymore. All right, and I always put this, make sure this goes on the outside when I put it on the stitch. And that's how you change colors, by the way. That is exactly how you change color. I'm already done changing colors. All I gotta do is wrap the rest of the loom and then knit off, and that it'll be changed to red. It helps a lot, a lot. When I say I have a pinched nerve and arthritis in my neck, it this helps a lot. It helps keeps me from having to pick this thing up so many times, constantly unraveling the blanket because the blanket starts to curl in on itself and everything. And it cost me under $50 at the time when I made it. So I made it about 3 years ago, 3 years ago, and that was about the time wood had went up anyway. So it should be about the same price. But yeah, and it took me about 30 minutes to make it, so it was well worth it. I rarely move the thing. I might even take this with me to my event, see how much work I can get done. That'll be nice. I hope the weather is good though. If the weather ain't good, I ain't taking it. No, I don't sell these because it's I don't make them the technical way you're supposed to make them. Like I don't go like through the whole nine of like doing it the proper way. I just threw them together in the most basic way, and it would cost a lot to ship it. Like probably about the same amount that it costs to make it. It would cost us just to ship probably even more because it's so heavy. Like it's very heavy. But all I bought was this part and some screws, and to the and this would like be the most basic way to make a lazy Susan. But the proper way to make a lazy Susan would be to buy this plus screws plus the little round thing that goes on the bottom. And I guess that kind of keeps it from scraping the table. But since I'm not doing this like for a professional reason, or I'm not trying to like what am I looking for? I'm not trying to like do anything special with it. It's always sitting on this tablecloth. I just did it in the most basic way just to get done. So yeah, that's why I'm like, ain't no point in me trying. Now, if I bought some of these and decorated them, because I just got a new wood burner. Now, if I bought some of these and just decorated the wood and let the other person like do their thing, like screw this whatever on it, then yeah. But it's a lot. Excuse me, y'all. Ooh. But yeah, loom knitting is very satisfying. Whether watching it in person too, it's just like you know, it's very mesmerizing to me. I'm trying to find that black piece of yarn that I want to pull. Here, that should be it right there. figure out what I did. Now this should make me happier because I don't have to count nothing. Put me in better mood, even better mood. I almost want to do a Chicago Bulls um patch to put on here. That'd be nice. But this is not mine. This is not mine to judge up. I swear it's like the vein. You know how people say they get that vein in their head when they get really annoyed. That's one thing. Counting. That's my vein. I don't know what it is about counting. So I've tried everything that I could do to decrease the amount the need for counting when I loom knit too. I'm start measuring stuff, just everything. I'm like I'm no I quit. I quit counting. It just makes me take longer. If I have to count it, it takes even longer. Cause then I'm like I'm counting up to five. Then I'm like somebody distracted me. Then I'm like wait what? Then I'll be counting. And then I hear like a car zoom by, and I'm like is that like a motorcycle or what? You know, it just be silly stuff that I get distracted by. So I'm just like forget it. Just don't count. Just measure everything. Even putting stitch markers on there. Stitch markers when I'm counting with crochet. I figured I had to not have to put the stitch markers in my crochet so that I don't have to count every time when um I'm in each row that I know that I'm on a different row. I don't do continuous crochet anymore. I do start and stop so I know just for that reason. Cause sometimes my hands get in the mood and they start shaking when I'm trying to put the stitch mark on. So now I'm annoyed that I have to put the stitch mark on that's not going on there nice, and then it's snagging my yarn and all this stuff. So now I'm arguing with the stitch marker. So now I'm at loss again. I swear. So I try to avoid putting stitch markers in my projects, everything, anything I can do to avoid it. Like I don't even count the stitches for brims anymore for hats. I just measure them and just like, yep, that'll work. I make them meet at the middle, the round loom every time, and by the time I start working, I mean by the time I made it past the brim, I'm like, yeah, that worked out fine. So I just do them all that way. And I have to like that's another thing with running a business and trying to do custom orders and all that stuff. I never really fully get paid for my time because of that my um my shortcoming or that's I try not to say ADHD is a shortcoming because it helps me out in a lot more ways than it does hurt me, but um yeah, I can't really charge my time because I'm always like, ain't nothing wrong with that either. Because sometimes even just stopping makes it worse too. So I don't, whatever, like, makes the process better. I ain't no judging. But yeah, um, I just try to, I try to gauge. You're right. I try to do an estimate, whatever, because I'm like, I know. Like that hoodie took me 2 months to make. And I'm just like, at this point, you just get a discount for being very patient with me. It was my first time making a hoodie. She had already knew. We had a conversation. She said no rush. She ordered that hoodie back in December, if I'm not mistaken. She just got it today, literally today. I finished it. I think I finished it Monday, but we had Monday or Tuesday. We had made plans to meet up today for her to get it. But yeah, it be like stuff like that. So I'm just like, you know, I'm not finna sit and clock in every time I sit down to work on other people's things. So I'm just like, I can give you an estimate of how long this gonna take because I've done it before, but most of the time with I mostly get new orders too, like new custom things. They'll ask me to do stuff I ain't done, so they expect me to wait. If you ask me to do something you ain't never seen me post it, you wait a while for that one. Especially if you're not paying a deposit. But if I've made it before, I can give a better estimate and charge better. Like the bucket hats have worked out. They worked out well for me. Sorry, I'm grabbing yarn, y'all. I should have took the pen under instead of over. Oh, I almost lost it. I almost lost that wrap. I'm excited to make this next project. I that too, that too, and I struggle with migraines on a regular, so that as well. So I'm just like, I gotta estimate my migraine days in there. I gotta hopefully I don't get sick. Hopefully the kids don't get sick and need something. So I use now. At first I was doing a month minimum. Now I've been doing 6 week minimum. 6 week minimum. And then I'll tell them if I finish early quicker than that, that's a blessing. You've been blessed. Like that's on the house. That's my tip to you. If I get finished earlier. So I always try to do on worst case scenario. Cause I know how. Cause it was one time my migraines were so bad. I was sick with a migraine. Like couldn't eat a thing. Everything was making me sick. Water, everything. For like literally over 20, a little over 24 hours. It was wild. So after that happened that one time, I was like, yeah, I think I think I need to update some policies and all this stuff. So I'm getting better each year. There's another lady that I follow that she was like, she do custom and she work as well, which I work part time. At first, I was working full time. I just started working part time this October, but I've been working full time for like the past year and a half. And she was like, yeah. She said I really don't really give them a date. She don't give people date on her stuff. And she's like, to be honest, I'm gonna try to just try to at least make the 6 week mark. But she's like, I really don't like giving them dates. I get it done when I get done. If they like your stuff, they go buy. But I can't operate that way. But she good at what she do though. She be doing craft fairs. She working. She go live and everything. She be busy. She do market prep on live and everything. But she said she just get them done when she get them done, and they have to pay. They have to pay full price for hers. I do like half up, half later. Hey Dan, how are you? Thank you. Yeah, cause it was crazy. But yeah. So she make them pay full price, and then she just like, well, when I get it done, if you trust me, it'll be done. It seems like she ain't had no issues with me, but I can't take that amount of pressure. Not no full payment. If at any given moment, if I have to give you anything back, I don't want it to be that much. That's good, Dan. I just like to play it safe. So I just ask for the amount of whatever the yarn is gonna cost me. That's what I ask for. Cause I'm not sitting around here trying to just buy yarn either. Right, exactly. Cause I've been trying to get out of that habit of just up and going up to the store and be like, oh, that's pretty, I want it. I'm trying to get out of that mode of just buying yarn just to be buying it. So now the past 4 or 5 months, I've been buying yarn as the project comes. Whenever you pay the deposit, I buy the yarn. That way I'm not just playing with yarn or have yarn just sitting around. Y'all have about an hour left. Wow. Look. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't end up that way. Cause I said I'm getting ready to start back doing my art. I bought me an art kit a couple weeks ago. I still ain't opened it yet. And yeah. So I'm just like, I'm already turning into a paint store. Cause I bought the art kit and I just got I think it was 24 colors, 24 acrylic colors um not too long ago, like a month ago. I had just got some paint, and then I just bought another paint as like a whole kit because I wanted everything, not just acrylic colors. I wanted paint pens and stuff. I swear, that's it'll be my problem. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to do better. I even went in Joann's several times in the past 3 weeks with other people, and I'm just like, no, this is not much of a sale for me, and I did a good job. I did a good job, and I didn't go in there and buy any yarn. So I'm just like, I need the discount to be a little bit more, especially for what I want. I want blanket yarn, and I know that's gonna cost a nice penny. Oh, back in the day, all the games, yes, I'm pretty sure they were retro. If you're talking about game, if they ain't seen the light of day, retro, you should share that on your channel. That'll be something people will be very interested in. Oh, that you got a long year, Marissa. What you mean, like how? Like you could just like sit down, make you a video, and just talk about all the video games that you got, and be like, I ain't never opened. You can also be like, let's open my game from 20 years ago that I bought that I've never played. That'll be something interesting to watch. To like have bought all those games you were interested in, and then finally play them would be like very that'd be cool to watch. Y'all, so while we on it, I went shopping twice this week, and I really I did. I was really bad. That would be awesome. I think that'll be awesome too, Dan. Not three colors each. Wow. I did something really bad. I went to what's that? It's a discount store place, and I ended up with a ukulele. So I've been really bad this week. Really, really bad. The ukulele was $20, so I couldn't leave it. And then I bought some yarn that was $1.99 a skein. So I haven't, I'm just gonna put it out there. I have not been on the best of my behavior this week when in the sale. So I'm just saying. But the yarn was really nice. It cost $1.99. I was like, oh, I can't leave that. And two of them was it was some messed up yarn. Um, it didn't have the packaging on it anymore, so they charged me $1.99 because the other yarn they can't tell the difference. If you're a crocheter or a knitter, you could tell the difference in quality of yarn, and so they was like, oh, there's no packet on this yarn, and it's very small. It's a very small skein of yarn. It was a Zoe, one of those Zoe yarns. Yes. It was one of those. Let me see if I got it back there. Hold on, y'all. I gotta show it to y'all because I cannot. And I found two skeins of it. So this one was $1.99. And Ollie's. So that's where I went to. I went to Ollie's. I'm sorry if I'm making it bad for someone else, but I had to just say it. I got this one from Ollie's, which is $1.99. This one is a whole mess, and they could not. This actually feels like two skeins. Oh, I got two skeins for $1.99 because it's a whole nother seven. Or did they rubber band it up? Did they rubber band it up? No, no, it's all one skein. It just, I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, I got two of these for $1.99. All I have to do is go back and rewind it. But they couldn't find the little packet thing because it was only two left, and it didn't have the thing on it. So I'm really excited that I got this one because I know now I can make some little socks with this one. I can make a hat to match, and I could probably make some little mittens, some little cover up gloves to make with this one because I got two sets. And I got two Oscar Grouch ones that I've been sitting on for a while now. I gotta make those too, a whole set. So I'm just like, I could not pass this up. But yeah, I went to Ollie's, and I'm not gonna go and pull it out, but I got some a Star Wars finger puppet kit. So I was really naughty this weekend. I mean, this week I was really naughty this week, and the ukulele just tops it all. I am a big music person, so I have a keyboard, I have a guitar, I have a trumpet, a xylophone, and now I got me a ukulele. And if I wanted to, all I gotta do is spend $1 and get one of them little accordions at the dollar store. Have one of those too. Have me a little band going on up in this shed. My husband be sick of me. That's why Marissa, I said I'm gonna try to do my best by you. You have a long year ahead of you. You can do it, but you got a long year ahead. Not leaving it in the trunk of the car. Thankfully, part of half of my yarn that I have so far, half of it was given to me by two other people. Well, I had to like pay like share shipping um, with two bags of the yarn, but another person donated me like a whole bag. So I've been kind of just shopping in and out of there. I'm getting ready to make some ice cream cones. That's what I need to do. That should work up fast. And then when they start to realize what you did, I was like, I made that for forever. Like, where you been? That's been here last year. I ended up with three of these, and my husband was like, "When you get the other two? You was there. I talked to you about when I got the other one." When I got one of them, he knew about it. He didn't know about the third one. I was just like, I told you what I was doing, and I did it. Like, and now what I've been doing, I've been running packages to my shed. So I have a she shed, and so the past couple of weeks, I've been running packages to my shed. Cause while he's at work, I'm like, let me hurry up and put this in the door. And then he's been having to bring stuff out here, and so he has not said anything yet about what's in the floor in front of my shed door. Cause I hurry up, put it down, I go back in the house. He hasn't noticed all the stuff coming in the house yet. And so like I'm like now I done went on the bench and I'm just like, okay, ring it back in. I'm trying to ring myself back in now. I just got another package today. I think I'm supposed to get another package tomorrow. Now he he ordered me some yarn for some orders today, so they wasn't on me. So I actually went and bought some more yarn today online. Yeah. So I think it's because I kept complaining about wanting some sale yarn that he was just like, I'm tired. I'm just gonna go and buy you some yarn from something. What is hurting me on my neck? And he was just like, I'm just gonna go get you some yarn from Michael's. Yep. I've been bad on Amazon too. Bad on Amazon too. And now they do the thing where they'll be like, you got 24 hours to order something else to keep your free shipping. Shoot. Oh, Amazon, now you got me hooked. So if I forget something in the next 24 hours, throw it in a cart. Just throw it in a cart. Right, exactly. And then they've been telling me how much money I spent on shipping because I'm not like an Amazon Prime member because I'm trying to avoid that too. And they're like, you spent blah 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 on shipping this year. I'm just like, stop it. But I did the calculation and I actually came out on top with shipping by not getting an Amazon um, Prime account. I said, Amazon, you slid. I actually didn't spend as much money on shipping that I would have if I had a Prime member account. I just go on one of these splurge or something at times, and then I'm just like, okay, calm down. And that's mostly where my Amazon stuff come from. Or when I'm ordering yarn, and they're like, well, you gotta do a certain amount on the order. So then I'm just like, oh, I gotta get more. I gotta get other yarns to be shipped with this too. I think I'm gonna move this over here. Me too. That's our that's we share that. We want a quick we want a quick, fast, and in a hurry. I get it. Cause that's why I be going all the way up. I was like, well, I might as well just spend what I need to spend to get this free shipping. Cause I want this free shipping. Hey, little C, welcome in. I am Doe of Doe's Craft Day, and I typically do loom knitting on live, and I crochet as well. And so some days I do crochet, and some days I do loom knitting. Welcome in. We are very welcoming here. Try to keep a cool vibe. Uh-oh, my hand acting up a little bit. Oh, and I'm currently working on a blanket. I'm loom knitting a blanket. And I welcome as many questions as you have. It's considered knitting. So don't hesitate to ask any questions. I don't mind answering. I don't consider any questions silly if they are loom related. Or yarn. We talk about yarn, crochet, some everything. Trying to loosen up those stitches in that area. And if you like need to see anything, let me know because I have a few examples that I kind of show while I'm on live. There's a lot of things that can be made on the loom, like clothing, sweaters, hats, scarves, and stuff. Cool. Awesome, awesome. Well, I love mine. It's very therapeutic for me. So this is about until I start kind of branching off into crocheting on live. This helped me out a lot. Like my anxiety was through the roof, and I struggled like having conversations and everything on live, and this helped me out a lot. I've been crocheting on live with this loom since about 2020. So I love it. Thank you, Gam Willow. I appreciate it. But yeah. So my mostly is loom knitting, but I do a lot of different other crafts. I just this is what I'm more well known for. I won't say like well known, but this is what my channel is known for. Awesome, Gam Willow. Hey, Crochet Corner. How are you? Yes, I can make a shirt. I'm trying to get around to like moving away from just blankets this year. This year is gonna be my year of proving myself to my loom. Okay, thank you for stopping in, Gam Willow. I appreciate you. Right, right. I like doing the bulky ones because they work up a lot faster. But they'll be easy. They're easy. They're not as bad. I got two different looms too. This is like a smaller gauge loom. Let me go and grab. What is my I don't know why my I guess I accidentally pushed stop when I said that over there. Give me just a second. I'm gonna show y'all the other loom that I use for bigger blankets. Well, thicker blankets, because it's not gonna be bigger. They all pan out to be like 5 feet wide. I can drop my foot. There you go, hook. They all tend to be 5 feet wide when you get done anyway, but this one works with thicker yarn. Yes, I got you, Crochet Corner. I got you. But yeah. Um I'm trying to fit. Hold on. I done messed up my live on my end. Okay. Yes. Stop. Release. Release. Thanks so much for the likes, y'all. I'm trying to get my. Okay. I think I'm back on my other one. But this one will go up to 5 feet, and you can um make a blanket even faster with this one. The thicker the yarn, of course, is. And you can double up number 4 yarn on here too. So if you decide to like use this instead, just double up your number 4 yarn, and it'll work fine for doing a blanket on here too. Okay. Um, are we are we on any other socials besides YouTube? If so, message me. Thank you, Crochet Code. Um, message me over there so I remember. I'm trying to remember where am I. Okay, remember where I'm at. Yeah, yeah, that. Yeah, I just started doing that too. Yeah, they'll come with this. Now, my only thing about the loom, the different looms, you it's a basic cast off to take it off. I have it on my YouTube, Synovia. It's I have a basic cast off video on my YouTube for taking it off. But whenever you buy a loom, I have a preference. I don't know about y'all, but I have a preference to the hook that come the picks that come with it, the hook, whatever you want to call it. They call it the knitting hook. But I have a preference for KB. They work out so much better to me. They're the most pointy on the end, so you're less likely to snag your yarn when trying to pick it up real quick and work fast. Cause I like working fast and quick. So KB all day when it comes to hook. Like regardless of where, yeah. So even if you get like different hooks from different places, I'm just gonna say get a KB hook to work with. It'll make the difference. And I would suggest if you do it, use the original hook first, and then use the KB. You'll get what I mean. Like you can tell the difference. I would love to do that, Crochet Co. I would love to do that. That's a good goal for me to do this year. I think that'll be a good goal for me to work out. Thanks for the suggestion. Right. Me too. Anything easy. But yeah, I found because when I there's a couple of times where I would buy a loom that's different from this, and I would just try their hook out first before I start working. I mean working on it, and I mean when I say hands down, KB hook all the way. It'll make you snag yarn too. If the hook is dull, it'll make you snag yarn more often. I just hope it's still some good yarn there too, cause they are. I feel like they not already picked over, especially the one that's close to me. They've already picked over everything, and when I say I didn't feel like it's not a good sale right now. If it's not 50% off, it's not a good sale to me, because the yarn I want costs $25 a skein, and I need that to be at least 50% off before I go to be like, yeah, this is like the best thing ever. Because when the project that I made with it cost me the yarn, I had to buy two skeins of the yarn, and I made a really big 3D heart pillow, and that was like, ain't nobody gonna be wanting to pay about $50 um just alone for the yarn, like the pillow itself, because I need to like at least charge 50 to get back what I lost already. And that's 50 plus some change. But yeah, I'm just looking for blanket yarn. I need blanket, 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 everything. I can swing number four yarn, acrylic yarn, whatever. But blanket yarn is not very accessible for me, because most of the Joann's close to me are like 30 to 45 minutes away, and they're not in the best of places. One of them is not in the best of places. So I live not too far from Memphis. I will not. I don't mean no harm. I will not go to Memphis to go to Joann's. I will go like an extra 30-minute drive to get to Joann's. And then the other place that's far from me, it's a 45-minute drive, no matter um, how I try to swing it to get to Joann's. And then the next one after that is like 2 hours away. So that sounds interesting. It sounds skeptical, but it does sound interesting at the same time. You just never know. Yeah, it was wrapped up around there a little bit. Yeah, I got about 30, a little less than 30 minutes left on live. But I know people talking about they have a preference to Joanne yarns, but I've used Loops and Threads by Michaels too, and I like it too. So I don't really have a preference to like, as long as it's affordable, it'll work for me. Yeah, I've used the long loom. I made baby blankets on the long loom. You can do it on the round looms too, little C. You don't have to wait to start one on here. You can do one. You can do the 10 stitch method on the round looms, and there is no sewing or anything required unless you're changing colors with different skeins of yarn. But if you got variegated yarn and you do the 10 stitch, you should be fine. I want to start me a 10 stitch one this year. I'm trying to find out which loom I'm willing to sacrifice for it, because I know if I get started on it and I get disinterested, I don't know how long it's gonna be on there. So I'm like, find a loom that you're not willing to play with for right now. That's good. We'll see. But yeah, I think you can go ahead and start. You can do that on a round loom. I think that'll be best for you since you're donating. They'll still turn out to be beautiful. handmade and pretty and well made. So I think you should try the 10 stitch method. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Um, I would say about 3 days. Probably about like 7, 8 hours so far. But this is like one of my I'm cutting corner blankets. So I'm not even doing like what I normally would do for a blanket. Because it wouldn't even be this long by now. This is a gift, so I'm not going all out the wazoo to make it. I'm still putting my time and effort, but you create a slip knot. So when you get ready to change color, you just cut the yarn loose. Make sure you leave a long enough tail. Create a slip knot in the part in the area where you want to change the color, and just start back wrapping like you would normally do. No problem. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in, Lucy. I normally go live on Saturday nights. We had some storms come through, and I had a really bad day yesterday. Being sick from headaches and stuff, so I had to move it to today. But I normally go live from 8 p.m. Central to 11 p.m. Central Saturday nights, and I'm trying to figure out how to swing another day in there, but I haven't quite captivated that yet. So I've been kind of like switching days that I do crochet, and then switch days that um I yeah, switch days that I do loom knitting. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, that would be the same if you wanna add more. Yep. Every time, like, you can decide. Let's say I decided like right now that I wanted to change the color, not at the beginning or the end. I could change the color anywhere here, just as long as I create the slip knot and just start back wrapping each stitch. So you can change it at any point you feel like. Excuse me. I got excuse me. I got it from Amazon. I got the link in my bio, and also I pinned it to the live too. It's called KB Afghan Loom. If you don't want to go through all that, KB Afghan Loom. 'Cause I know if you can search Infinity Loom too, but it's gonna pull up more than just this one. So the name of the company is Knitting Board, and you can find it on their website as well, knittingboard.com. I use Red Heart. I'm pretty much gonna go for expensive. I'm an inexpensive yarn, so you can do Red Heart, whatever yarn you choose. The only thing that I've had an issue with was that chenille yarn by Premier. Because sometimes it doesn't rub up. That suede yarn, it doesn't really rub up against itself smoothly. So just be it's okay. You can make it soft. You can like wash it and stuff like that to make it soft. But it'll work. Now if you're like trying to do more like create a business with it, you probably may want to do anything but red heart, to be honest. But sometimes people request colors that I can't really avoid not using red heart. But I mean, the yarn works. It's just a little bit rough, just a little bit on the rough side. I can feel it between, different yarns. That'll be the only way you can really tell that the yarn is rougher than other yarns is that when it's compared directly side by side. But they say they're supposed to be getting better at that. I looked. I heard something several months ago. People were complaining about the roughness of their yarn, and they were saying they were trying to make it softer or whatever. So I don't know, but I pretty much use any yarn. You can go to a number 6 on this loom. I don't like doing it because I don't like trying to adjust my hand for the tension every time. So I just use really only one um, grade of yarn on the loom. But you can go up to a number 6 on here. Yeah, I would. It gonna cost you a little bit more, but yeah, you can do the blanket yarn. You just have to be very careful with your tension on this loom. If you don't use like a wrapping tool or like know your tension very well, the yarn can snap. So that's the only other thing about using blanket yarn. It'll snap easier than number 4 yarn would, but it'll work up faster as well. So those are all the components you'll have to think about when working with it. Let me right here. My bad, y'all. Right here, this is a number you'll go by. It should have like a number and then the hook sizes and then the needle sizes. It'll have them all in this area. Most yarns have this in this area, so you'll know what you need. This is number 4 that I have on the loom. This is typically what I put on this loom, and you can go up to number 5, and the number 6 is typically blanket yarn. So let me see. Like even this one, let me see. This probably should be like a 25 millimeter hook, but right up in here, just another way to see. This a number 7, because sometimes they don't have them beside each other. But as long as you find like it'll have a little picture of a skein of yarn, and then it'll have the number that you need. Thank you. I found it at Ollie's for $1.99, y'all. I was in there shopping, ain't got no business shopping, just in there buying stuff. And I found 3 skeins of that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this work. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna do it like make it into a pillow, a pillow decor. Oh no, I love questions. They don't bother me at all. Ask all the questions you need. Cause I just wish somebody would have asked, had some type of advice for me when I started. Cause I got about 30 looms back there, and half of them I'm not even using. Cause it's just like if I would have known this, I wouldn't have bought that. Thank you. But yeah, so I don't mind It gives me, conversation, everything. It don't bother me at all. Sometimes people come in here and they'll like they'll say what you making like 5 different times. It's totally okay because I know people come in at different times. I'm just like a blanket. It don't bother me to keep saying I'm making a blanket because I do this in multiple places and it's always like that. I answer some of the same questions every time, so it doesn't bother me. It makes me remember. If anything, it's a good memory thing for me, having to constantly recall. So I appreciate it. Keep me on my toes. Keep me remembering what I'm doing. Cause I don't like to sit down and take notes and write stuff. I'm just like, let's just try to remember this. Um, it depends. Cause you can make a blanket with any loom. To be honest, now if you don't want to spend the money, I would say start with the rectangular one, but it's gonna be extra work. that that's what I started with, a whole lot of anxiety, a lot of anxiety. This has helped me a lot. But it depends on what you want to do because you can pretty much make a blanket with any loom. If you do like the 10 stitch method, you can make a blanket. You ain't got to sew nothing, blah blah blah. You can do it on rectangle, circle, whatever. It you won't have to go through all of this. And but if you if you just really want it to be, you just sit down and work on it all at one time in one sitting. But it's gonna go to 5 feet. Yeah. But this can be overwhelming because just the pegs alone. But it's not hard. It's overwhelming because of the amount of pegs, but the actual process is not hard. Because it can be tedious and very repetitive. That's this is why I actually like it because it's very repetitive. So I can have like a whole conversation, get distracted, whatever, fall off the grid in my head, and have a whole conversation and still be like, okay, let's go back to where we were. When I found out I could do this with this project, this with Looming, baby, I just hit the ground running. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes left. Um, I'm just gonna say start small, cause you can still like if you get in the mood, you can still make a blanket with the small ones if you want to. It's there's still options. Like for me, I got smaller looms, and I feel like I will still want them, like need them. Like I'm getting ready to start making sleeves for shirts and stuff like that. And I prefer just doing it in a round loom instead of sewing everything together. So I'm gonna want to use the round loom to keep from having to use the mattress stitch. So I would just suggest go smaller and then go bigger once you feel confident. Thanks so much for the likes. Me too. Me too, Marissa. But I feel like it's a necessary evil. That green loom is a necessary evil because I will not put any blanket yarn on this loom. And that's just purely from personal preference. That's not saying don't do it, nothing. It's just from personal preference. So I put all my blanket yarn on that yarn, green loom. No problem, Nikki. But yeah, I put all blanket yarn on there, and it goes up to number 7, and I just throw it all on there. While I'm talking, I'm like, oh, I can put that green yarn that I just pulled out on there. I got an idea for it. Excuse me. Yep, it's not as strong as the white one, and then when it get in a curve, it get real tight in the curvature of the loom too. So I don't like that either. The tension gets really tight in the area. Oh, right. Yeah, that they're different. If they're white, it's a KB. More than likely, it's KB. There are some Cindywood looms out there, but they're twice as much as KB looms. But they looms come with like pegs, different colors and stuff. So if you have like a project you want to work on, theirs come in different colors. The pegs do, but their looms cost like $100 and some dollars. If you get Cinderwood, they're pretty much made the same. It's just their pegs are color coded more so. Y'all, this is my last row. Yeah, so it's a lot of different options out there. So even if let's say you decide you just really um have to have you want to get like an infinity one, that green one is it's wider gauge and you can double up the yarn and work it up faster. So it won't take as long as making a blanket on here. So basically, let's say this takes me 60 hours. I mean, this takes me 60 hours. And then on the green loom, since the yarn is much thicker, it'll take me more like 40 hours. I don't know. I don't know, Marissa. I haven't seen they come and they go. Like I'll see somebody loom knitting it, and then it'll be like they just go. Yeah, I'll share it with y'all before I get off live. I'll share one before one a baby one too, a proper made one. One that I go through all the steps to make one that's better made, or well, different techniques. I ain't gonna say better made. This what it is so far. And I've been on this for about 7 hours. So this is what I got in 7 hours. And let me see where I just put it. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you, Nikki. So this one, this what I typically do is I do a whole border on the blankets before I take them off live. But this I'm gonna take them off the loom. But this one is a gift, so I'm just doing all E-stitch for this one. But typically when I make blankets, I make them in a way that once I'm done, like with them on the loom, I'm like done with the blanket. So this is what I do like a garter stitch border. This is E stitch and purl stitch. That is two rows that make one garter stitch. So that this step keeps the blanket from curling on the edges. And then I just do everything else E stitch in the middle because I'm like, this is already a lot of work. Like I've fallen asleep. This part alone normally takes me about 2.5 hours to do. And I've fallen asleep in the middle of doing the border before. Versus like 2.5 hours to do like up to here. So it just depends on like what stitches you doing, what processes you take, you know, whether it's gonna take you a longer time to do stuff. Thank you, Marissa. It's all one skein. It's that Bright Stripes by Red Heart. But yeah, so it just you once you get it down pat, you're gonna be like, oh, that's it. I promise you, it is very easy. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Nikki. But yeah, it's very easy. It's just more so tedious than anything. Thank you guys so much for the live, and I'll show y'all one more because it's a different design too, and it's all one skein. Oh, so before I get off, I've made this using this loom. So all I did was like flat panel it and then I sewed the head together. So that's another thing too, Nikki. If you decide you like, okay, well I'm just gonna hop on this one. You don't have to do the whole loom if you don't want to. This is like 70. I think I did like 65 to 70 pegs for a hat. I sewed it together. I mattress stitched it together and then gathered it at the top. And if you flip it on this side, you can't even tell that, because this is the area where I sewed it up at. You can't even really tell that it came off of here. So even with that, you don't, if you buy it, you don't have to like use the whole loom if you don't feel like it. You just have to go a little bit more of an extra step than you would with a regular round loom. Because if I'm doing it on a regular round loom, then I can just work it up real quick and close it up, and I don't have to sew anything. But since I was putting it on here, I had to sew everything up. But let me show y'all this last. Um, no, I'm show y'all two more. Okay, and then so this one is pretty much that same stitch on the border, but I just carried it throughout the blanket and mixed it up with the E stitch because it still was a lot of work. So I did like a kind of like a stripe pattern going on. The stitches are raised in like the stripe area. If y'all can kind of see, it's kind of raised up. So it kind of went in like a stripe pattern because it's raised. And now I'm gonna show y'all one more. And that's like the corner area. I did the garter stitch on that area too. Thank you. It was called like a meadow or a pond. That one was by Karen. Karen Cake or something. I can't really remember. And then it's this the last one. So it's a lot. It depends on what you're trying to do with your loom. You can get a lot of different things accomplished. But yeah, this one this one is like their basket weave pattern. It comes with their loom. So there's a pattern. They send you like 3 patterns, a little pattern booklet, that you can follow to do things like this too. So it just all depends on what you're trying to do with it. Yeah. So it's a lot of different options. But yeah. That yeah, like that one been on there for like 2 years because it's a lot of work compared to working this up real fast and then trying to work that one up, and it's taking like twice, 2, 3 times as long because of my ADHD. It's taking a long time. But yeah, like I'm gonna finish this one before I know I'm gonna finish that one. But thank y'all so much. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. I will be back here on next Saturday, providing that the weather is doing well. Because the weather be knocking me out. But providing that the weather is doing well, I'll be back here at 8 p.m. Central on next Saturday. I hope you get yes, thank y'all. I hope you guys have a good night, and hope to see you guys later on this week. Have a good one, y'all.